wouldn't consider this like that I don't like that. But thinking about like sort of perhaps management problems or something like that, or any problems, that's something that I think like it's more annoying that you can't get rid of. Because this also requires you to sort of, okay, I have to think about how I'm going to find the solution. Let's see if somebody would an email. Let's see, like, those kinds of things in mind. So, like a scientific problem, that's actually not necessarily something very, I mean, it's natural, as you said. That's just natural. It comes with the job. But perhaps the more logistic or management issues are more of a struggle.
And two different things, and someone of you mentioned about managing the group, managing and supervising people, etc., and also thinking about this. What are emergent issues in this aspect as supervisors of younger people?
Well, how to react when something goes bad. I mean, when there's a crisis, right?
You mean
when either the person is not doing what you expect from her, how do you manage to try to put her gently back in the good direction with all humanity possible? So that, for me, it's the main challenge is that when I see it goes bad, how do you slowly and not try to find the right words? And,
because we had some focus group with PIs, where particularly young PIs were really advocating for some support in managing their groups, for instance, training to...
They do have that.
They do, we do train.
That's what
Yes.
We do have support, and it's really nice.
But in that respect, so you've taken these management courses, but it may be also interesting to think about coach that you could refer to individually. So
that would be really nice.
Actually, I just wanted to mention, so when we were at this dinner the other time, there was one person who is actually a coach that offered, she told me that she would be willing to do this for free, just to help us. So,
that'd be great. I would love it.
Yeah. So she just emailed me yesterday,
cool.
actually. So maybe it's something we could explore. Because I guess the issue of partitioning your mind with respect to work versus family life and other things is a general issue, no matter what. With the science, I love to keep it in the back of my head, maybe in some time unconsciously, because that gives me ideas. Because all of a sudden, I think, that's something I could exploit in the context of this. So making connection. So for me, it's nice that I have science in my head all the time. But it is true that when you have rather problems that you feel uncomfortable with, it's probably not that good. And so this sort of thing, you need to find a way to partition, to leave it for some time, and then get fresh.
But how do you do? I don't know how to do.
But there are probably ways and techniques, and so I also think, you just have to go, I don't know, I exhaust myself with doing some sport or something, so that I cannot at the same time really think about a problem. And then afterwards, you look at it again, you have sort of eased your mind with a different view. Because sometimes to stick to a problem doesn't help you to solve it. You have to leave it and then get back to it.
And now turning again a little bit, but still in this subject area of managing and supervising people, but in this sense, you are all young. A lot of young researchers here, and so you probably remember from very close what was the issue of having this very strong uncertainty about career issues, because so few people have been successful, so congratulations to you, but I guess that people in your groups will be struggling anyway with their career perspectives and maybe looking for also pastoral mentoring, career supervision, etc. Do you happen to do you see this as something you can manage? Do you feel this is something where help can be sought? What do you have? I was mentioning challenges. Is this a challenge?
This is a challenge. This is what I was thinking, one of the supervising people, and thinking about their future.
Okay.
For me, this is happening right now. That's what I mean. It's stressful.
I think you feel the responsibility also for the people working
Yes.
with you. So this
Yes.
is, and now all the people know it's more and more hard to get a position in the field of science. But I think we still can motivate the people work with us to do our best. Of course, there is challenges.
Yeah, if I may, on that front, I also think that the people themselves are in some cases less worried than you are yourself about them. No, it's true. I've seen it myself. No, it's true, and so I think it is also important to force them to think about their future. And so to define, say, we have a date, we are going to meet, and you're going to write up for yourself where you see yourself, what are your assets, your difficulties, and then we are together, we'll discuss. And you have a hard time to get them to do it. But when they do it and you discuss, you realize that it does help. And there's not only a career in science. You can be trained in science and do a number of different things. And so getting people to see what they are good at by thinking about it is also something that you can do.
Genevieve, would you do this individually, like you have several postdocs? No, but you will do one-on-one? Or
one-on-one.
You will not do it like an informal discussion with all postdocs?
No, I do it one by one, and I ask them to have a career plan. And so we sit every year to see, so that we have a date where we do this, to go through the various items and how to help them at the best I can, depending on how things are developing.
So along the same lines, I realize that it stresses me even more when I realize I'm the only one stressed about their future.
That's true.
And I would say even different people in the lab. I think the biggest responsibility, at least for me, is the PhD student, because the postdoc they're already a bit experienced. They usually know what they want. The PhD student, it's almost not a researcher that you have to turn into a researcher. So it's a diploma also. So I would feel that there is a bit more responsibility taking PhD students.
I don't agree with you.
You don't agree?
No, because I think the PhD is the very beginning, and they can switch to different things. When you're a postdoc, you're already engaged quite far, and so they are getting closer to finding a position.
Yeah.
And so, but you're not yet there because you're at the beginning of your lab. Wait a couple of years, and then you see. But for the PhD student, of course, it's a responsibility.
To get
but
the
you have the
PhD
mentoring. They have it's really well organized for the PhD. They have to present for their PhD committee. They have external mentors. So there's a
ecosystem.
That I think can help. We should exploit it more. It's less, I would say, it's less strong for the postdoc.
Yeah, and something that I found hard is to make them go one step back and be a bit creative. I mean, that's the thing I really have a hard time. And I might see a gender bias in this sense. That of the postdocs, for example.
For being creative?
Yeah, just take one step back in their career path, but think out of the box and say, I'm not doing my everyday work on this epigenetic plan. Okay, this is nice, but what are you dreaming of? I mean, get a bit of perspective of what you can dream big. I mean, it's not a problem. I mean, most of them don't. And I'm really surprised. It's just not being ambitious, but say, okay, what do I dream of doing? And you want to also be realistic, but you want to have them, let me say, once every 6 months or once a year, really have a step back, and this is the hardest part for me.
So if there's a gender bias, which way would...
In my small experience, I've managed to supervise 10 people in my previous lab, and now I would say that girls tend to less be open to that and be, sticking to the map, but it's maybe a wrong impression.
You mean also looking for different kind of career path?
Yeah, always saying the least I would have expected for her to say. I mean, it's not a cliche. I had it every time. Oh, I can do this. Oh, you can do much better. Come on. So this is something I really want to push them towards too. It's not being over-ambitious, that's not the point, but it's being open and,
Sorry, I still want to be clear. I got it right. You mean ambitious as concern a career, an academic career?
Yeah.
or becoming PI, for instance?
No, not necessarily PI, but being open to, maybe I can change subject. I won't be. I'm able to do it. Yeah, it's being self-confident, a bit more self-confident.
I think confidence is truly an important aspect.
That's hard to give.
And it's true that to get people to become